正解。
Rebirth of the malicious empress of military lineage. Side Story 3. Illicit dealings. Caillou Ning couple. Feng and Ning always felt that she feared Shen Caillou. It was very strange. She was the young lady of the Feng residence and was used to being proud and picky as Master Feng and Feng Furan doted on her, and all the brothers and sisters at home would give in to her, letting her develop a prideful and arrogant character. However, there were two exceptions. The first one was Shen Miao. Feng and Ning did not know how did she started playing with Shen Miao. Shen Miao had the reputation of being stupid and rude, but unknowingly she no longer take ridiculous actions like she did before. As they were all taking lessons in Guangwentang and Shen Miao was sitting at the same desk as her, Feng and Ning gradually noticed that Shen Miao was considered somewhat intelligent. When one was young, one would often admire who were unfathomable, and due to Shen Miao, who was previously boorish but now became dignified, the difference became much more obvious. Feng and Ning could not help but want to play with Shen Miao. She considered the rest of the officials' daughters in Guangwentang to be beneath her notice, but thought extremely highly of Shen Miao. Shen Miao did not flatter or flaws on her and treated her like she was not essential. Feng and Ning instead felt that Shen Miao was more real than those other young ladies that would speak beautiful things to her and followed her. Feng and Ning also felt there was something wrong with herself. Not mentioning Shen Miao, the second one who would not give in to her was Shen Caillou. To put it bluntly, no matter if it was in the eyes of elders or the younger generations, Shen Caillou's reputation was excellent. Even with an infamous younger sister, it did not affect his good name at all. Previously, Feng and Ning had seen Shen Caillou once or twice before. She only felt that he was a handsome youth that was as bright as the sun and looked easy to talk with. However, when she gradually became familiar with Shen Miao and even was in close proximity with Shen Caillou a few times, she felt inexplicably fearful of Shen Caillou. First, it was because Shen Caillou did not treat her with extreme courtesy, like the other noble gentlemen. Perhaps it was because Shen Caillou had a military background and did not have a detailed enough personality. But the second point was that he treated Feng and Ning like a passerby and did not seem to attach any importance that Feng and Ning was Shen Miao's good friend. This was considered unbearable for the always prideful Feng and Ning. However, every time she wanted to lose her temper, she would see Shen Caillou's sharp eyes when he scolded his subordinates and strangely retreated. Feng and Ning could not understand herself. If it was said that Zi Jingxing of the residence of the Marquis of Linan was Ding Capital's male overlord, she at least could hold the title of the female overlord. She did not put anything in her eyes, so how could she be helpless towards this pair of siblings? The eldest brother of the Feng family scolded her being meek and civil in public but a tyrant at home. Feng and Ning sulked and would say that she would hold her head high at the next when she saw Shen Caillou, but when it really came, she would lower her neck and eyes and walked past. Even Shen Miao's older Biao sister, Lu Tan, had also felt it. Why is it that when Ning comes to the Shen mansion, she would be quieter than usual? Shen Miao would smile. It would be better to say that she is quieter when seeing my eldest brother. Feng and Ning's shame turned into anger. What nonsense are you saying? I am quiet when I want to be quiet. Do I need to have another's agreement? Lu Tan shouted out towards the direction behind Feng and Ning. Older brother Caillou, why do you come so suddenly? Feng and Ning's body suddenly became stiff, and she wanted to run away when she saw Lu Tan pointing her overjoyed. Youngest Biao sister is right. Could it be that the eldest young lady of the Feng family feared older brother Caillou the most? Feng and Ning got up in anger and vowed never to speak to Lu Tan again. Contrary to Feng and Ning's expectation, the events happened later was unexpected. She went out with Shen Miao, and because of her negligence, it was Shen Miao who fell into the hands of deceitful people. Feng and Ning placed the blame on herself, but Shen Caillou's attitude made her heart alarmed and tremble in fear. Shen Caillou questioned her unrelentingly. Feng and Ning was very upset about Shen Miao's disappearance, and she did not know who told her older brothers about how Shen Caillou had scolded her. The few older brothers said, "That eldest brother of the Shen family is just too much. The matter has come to such a point. The most important thing is to search for the young lady of the Shen family. Why be so calculative with a young female like you? You are already feeling so remorseful. Why add hail to snow? It is not that. Feng Anning covered her face. He is right. This is my fault. She was worried about Shen Miao and also felt some hate to herself. She hated herself so Shen Kaiyu would also hate her. Fortunately Shen Miao returned alive and nothing had happened to her. However, Feng Anning no longer dared to set foot in Shen residence. It was not because of anything but that she felt ashamed. If it was not because of her, Shen Miao would not have to suffer such hardships. Even though the ending was good but the journey was undesirable. She actually really wanted to go to the Shen mansion to visit Shen Miao and bicker with Lu Tan or just take a look at Shen Kaiyu, but she could only restrain herself. Even though Lu Tan sent her an invitation, Feng Anning rejected it. She had a proud character and others would view it as being not sensible, but it was begin unbending. She would not bend her head down and could not act as though nothing had happened. Thus she punished herself like this. Who knew that such a big mishap appeared with Shen Miao's marriage? When Feng Anning heard that her father and older brother talking about matters of court, she came to know that the Shen family was attacked on all sides. To the Shen family, it was not a good thing for whoever marrying Shen Miao, much less to Shen Miao. Shen Miao marriage had become sacrificial. What could she do? Feng Anning thought about her eldest brother. Feng Zhiyan had a mild temperament, and the most important was that Feng Anning understood her eldest brother, that he was definitely an upright gentleman. Compared to marrying the crown prince, it was a much better choice. Thus she convinced her eldest brother to go to the Shen residence to propose marriage. Feng Zhiyan was initially stunned, but he had listened to the many things that Feng Anning had spoken about Shen Miao. He felt that even though Feng Anning was arrogant, she did not have a suspicious mind. Thus for a person to be thought as good by Feng Anning would at least not be a sinister character. Feng Zhiyan had promised Feng Anning to go to the Shen residence to take along, but at the end was rejected by Shen Miao. Despite that, Feng Anning's and the Shen mansion's relation was somewhat eased due to this matter. On her way back to her residence, she had encountered Shen Kaiyu and he had known about the matter on Feng Zhiyan coming to the residence and gave her his thanks after giving her a glance. Only a thanks, and Feng Anning's emotions were so stirred up that she tossed and turned in bed. Feng Anning's personal maid asked her cautiously, "Young lady, valued the eldest young master of Shen family greatly and become happy and worry for him. Is it admiring the eldest young master of the Shen family? What nonsense are you talking about?" Feng Anning instinctively retorted as her brows became upright, like she had stepped onto a cat's tail. The maid jumped in shock and quickly knelt down. It is this servant that spoke gibberish nonsense, and hoped that young lady would spare this servant once. After a long while, the servant did not hear Feng Anning's reply and her heart had turned into a state of uneasiness. She heard some words from the top of her head, "Never mind, get up." Feng Anning looked at the mirror and bit her lips. Some matters could not be conceded and laid bare, but that did not mean that it did not happen. For a matter that could be seen clearly by her own personal maid, Feng Anning thought that her current behavior was very obvious. If she could not hide it from her personal maid, then it was not possible for her to hide it from Shen Miao's eyes. Shen Miao knew her thoughts. Would she tell Shen Kaiyu? Did Shen Kaiyu know about it? Feng Anning looked at the mirror with some irritation. She feared nothing in heavens or on the land, but only feared the two siblings of the Shen family. It was needless to mention about Shen Miao, as she was somewhat mysterious, but Shen Kaiyu was perfectly all right, and in everyone's eyes, he was the amiable and the easiest to speak to with a uncalculative personality. So what was she afraid of? What she feared was not Shen Kaiyu but herself. The perhaps arrogant, troublesome, willful and ignorant self that appeared in Shen Kaiyu's eyes. When one was in love with another, one would always look at oneself repeatedly. What little thing was not done well, or when the other party was very outstanding, then one would be suspicious if one was worthy to the other. One would carefully show the best side in front of him and work hard on matters, but would still feel restlessness in one's heart, like it was hanging in the balance, fearing that one had done something wrong. Unfortunately, the more one was nervous, the more mistakes one would make and the more one would make a fool of oneself in front of the other. Shen Qiu was angry with her because of Shen Miao's matter, and she feared of being updated due to the other party's hate, and thus when Shen Qiu thanked her, she was immediately happy. But because she was happy, she became worried, and Feng and Ning could hear how those troops in theater were singing about "A red bin is planted on the grave of yearning. As the bin falls sharply into one's heart, one asks if the other know about it." The lyrics were very cheesy, but Feng and Ning felt that it was very accurate, like it was singing out all the thoughts in her heart. However, she felt that she was, generally speaking, hopeless. That was because one could not see any difference in Shen Qiu's treatment of her. Feng and Ning dimmed and became sad, finding that singing alone was dull and tasteless. Unfortunately, Shen Miao got married at such a time, to Great Liang, that was thousands of li, 1 li equals 1 mile, away. This not only mean that she would have one less friend in the future in Ding capital, it also meant that she no longer had any reason to visit Shen Mansion or even have any little thoughts about her secret. Feng and Ning felt very lost. The affairs of the world changes. No one had expected that there would be a sudden turmoil change in Ding capital. Perhaps those intelligent people would know, those officials would know, and those royal people would know. But Feng and Ning, an official's daughter who did not ask about the affairs of the world, would be at a loss. In a night, Emperor Wen Hua fell seriously ill, and Prince Ding, Fu Ziyu, had grasped the power in his hands. There were princes who died, locked up, injured and destroyed. All officials in Ding capital felt imperiled. Feng and Ning was not clear on what had happened, but could see Master Feng's serious and heavy expression, and her older brothers were bustling around daily. It was until one day when Master Feng called Feng and Ning to the room and said, "Ning, you are not young anymore and have reached a marriageable age." Feng and Ning was able to guess Master Feng's next words, but it was just too sudden for her, as she had not thought about it before. Feng and Ning immediately replied, "Father, I still do not want to marry. I want to accompany father, mother and older brother." This time the always doting Master Feng did not go along with her words. "Foolish child, how can there be a female who will keep on stay at home and not be married off? Could it be that one wants to be a spinster? Your older Biao brother will arrive in Ding capital in a few days' time. Go and bring him around." There seemed to be some suggestion behind those words. Feng and Ning had never been one who could keep her composure. She immediately stood up and spoke emotionally, "Father, what is the meaning of this? What is the meaning of being impetuous like this?" Master Feng's brows wrinkled. "What meaning? Your older Biao brother is coming to Ding capital, so what is wrong with the younger Biao sister, like yourself, receiving him?" "Receiving? I am not a servant, so what should I be receiving?" Feng and Ning said. "What's more, there is still eldest brother and second older brother." "I am not going." "You." Master Feng's face became cold. "Must go." Master Feng had never sent a single harsh word to Feng and Ning since young, but today he did not give Feng and Ning any face in front of the servants at all. Feng and Ning felt both hurt and wrong that she stood up. "Father, our Feng family is not short of money, so there is no need to be involved in the shady business of selling one's daughter. I have not seen this older Biao brother for many years. I have nothing to say if you don't feel embarrassed. Could it be that you want to use the receiving in name and let me and him become a couple? I will not do it. Whoever that is willing can go, but I am not willing." She had mixed with Lu Tan for too long and her words were somewhat vulgar. Master Feng stood up suddenly and gave Feng and Ning a slap. Feng and Ning was stunned. Her face was burning up as she stared at Master Feng in shock, but she saw Master Feng speaking without even blinking. "Go back to your room and reflect upon it. Don't let others say that my Feng family has raised such a shameless daughter." The servants around were astonished. Master Feng had never dared even smack Feng and Ning's little finger. There was once a teacher in Guangwentang who slapped Feng and Ning's palm because of her homework, and when Master Feng saw the strokes on Feng and Ning's palm, he wanted to fight with his life with that teacher. However, today he personally gave Feng and Ning a slap. Feng and Ning cried out and ran out the door. In one breath, She ran all the way back to her room and closed the doors before throwing herself onto her bed and cried her heart out. She only saw that faraway older Biao brother once when she was young. That older Biao brother was older than her and would smile gently and praise his younger Biao sister's writing. He was also able to compose poetry when he was young. However, Feng Anning personally saw that this youth would kiss their personal maid's lips. Feng Anning felt extremely disgusted. She even told the matter to her family, but the Feng family had all felt that she seen wrongly and refused to believe her. Feng Anning then hated this older Biao brother even more. She did not even want to see her, much less receiving him. Moreover, Feng Anning was not a 3-year-old child. Naturally, she understood the meaning behind Master Feng's words. Master Feng obviously had intentions to match her up with this older Biao brother that had a gilded exterior but shabby and ruined on the inside. The more Feng Anning cried, the sadder she became. The male she liked did not like her and most likely find her a burden. Her father and older brother instead want her to spend a lifetime with a person she hated. Shen Miao and Lu Tan left and she had no one else in Ding Capital to talk to, making her unable to have an outlet to her stomach full of grievances. Feng Anning really felt that the days passed difficultly. However, she was prideful. On top of them, she was also very obstinate. It was alright for Master Feng not to dote on her and hate her, but she was still unbending and even began a hunger strike. In short, she refused to obey and meet that disgusting older Biao brother. If it was usual, with her level of protest and hunger strike, it would have long let the family turn around. However, it was not effective this time, so much so that Master Feng became aggravated and his attitude became even tougher. Feng Anning and Master Feng kept on being confrontational until Feng Zizyan came back to Ding Capital after dealing with matter. When he came to know about the matter, he came over to comfort her. Feng Zizyan said, "Younger sister, you must not blame father. Father currently does not have any choice. The current situation in Ding Capital is turbulent and our Feng family is in imminent danger. Father wanted to marry you off to avoid you experience the misfortune. Older Biao brother's cow family has big businesses and you will not have any worries on clothes and food when you marry over. Moreover, he is considered to have both talents and appearance and is considered our relatives, thus upon marriage, you will not be poorly treated. Eldest brother knows that you feel wronged in your heart, but the present is not the same as the past. If there was not this event, naturally one would let you pick a husband that you like, but now, Anning, do bear with it. Father have no other choice. Marrying him is better than following our family and being in an unknown ending." Feng Anning was startled when she heard it, as no one told her about these before. Some days ago, she had seen that the Feng family were non-stop busy and she felt strange. However, every time she brought it up, she would be dismissed by Master Feng. Feng Anning really did not link her marriage matter to that. She questioned, "Eldest brother, what is meaning of your words? Is the Feng family going to fall into misfortune?" Not waiting for Feng Zizyan to reply, she continued, "If the Feng family is to fall into misfortune, how could I, a daughter of the Feng family, watch coldly from the side? Could it be that father wanted to marry me off so that I could avoid everything? We are after all one family, one have to go through thick and thin together." Feng Zizyan sighed and said, "Younger sister, how could I not know what you are saying? It is just that there are many things that are not as simple as you think. It is naturally good that you want to go through thick and thin with the Feng family, but how would father and mother bear that? You have been doted and spoiled since young and we are not willing to let anything happen to you. Moreover, there are many people who have evil intentions. What if they were to use you to threaten the Feng family?" After a pause, Feng Zizyan became upset. "Not only you would not be able to help when you stay in the Feng family, father and mother would be distracted and it would become the soft underbelly of the Feng family. If you were to be married to the Cao family, not only father and mother would feel assured, the Cao family would perhaps help out." Feng Anning did not speak for a long time. "Anning." Feng Zizyan was somewhat worried when she did not speak. "Eldest brother, I am fine." She took a deep breath and smiled towards Feng Zizyan. "Let me think about it." When Feng Zizyan saw that she did not want to say more, He knew that it was very difficult for Feng and Ning to accept such a change in such a short timing. He did not say any much at that moment and left. When Feng Ziyang left, Feng and Ning looked at the bronze mirror stunned and her hands trembled slightly. Human's fate was as uncertain as the weather. Feng and Ning had never thought that in just a short night, she would go from a young lady who was being envied by everyone would become in such a dangerous situation. She had never thought that she would become a burden. When she was young she had lived too naively and comfortably, but one had not thought that heavens was stingy and hateful. He had let the first half of one's life be so fortunate, but it would be repaid with a precarious future. One was to continue living one's life according to one's personality. The other side was family. Feng and Ning thought about when Shen Miao had wanted to protect the Shen family was shackled at so many areas, and when she did anything, she would have to think about consequences. Was she also so tangled up? She looked at herself in the mirror. Could the arrogant young lady with a moon face appearance be able to bear such a huge responsibility? One could no longer continue like this. Feng and Ning thought that if only when one was pampered, could one be arrogant. Not everyone was the Feng family, and she could not be sheltered by the Feng family for the rest of her life. Anyways, the person she liked did not like her at all. Feng and Ning made up her mind. Feng and Ning's transformation surprised everyone. She agreed to Master Feng's suggestion, deciding to meet up and chat with Gentleman Cao and perhaps become his wife in the future. The Feng family knew the reason of it, but they had no other way out. There were only a few routes in front of them, and only this route would let Feng and Ning live easier. If it was possible, they were not willing for Feng and Ning to suffer any grievances. But when it comes to the time when grievances must be suffered, they wanted her to suffer lesser or suffer the least. Feng and Ning's transformation was not only on her attitude towards the older Biao brother from Cao family, but also on her temper. It seemed that she had turned into a different person overnight and became somewhat quiet, looking like a sensible and gentle person from an outsider, but it was very deplorable in the eyes of the Feng family. However, every time they bring it up with Feng and Ning, she would only smile and said some perfunctory words. Gentleman Cao was very satisfied with Feng and Ning. After all, Feng and Ning was a beauty, and now that she had a change of temperament, she became pleasant and adorable, making him like it. In a twinkling of an eye, it was almost time to discuss about the marriage. The Feng family and the Cao family had exchanged their age cards. Feng and Ning was sitting in the room, looking at the grass outside blankly. However, she heard her personal maid running over in a rush. "Young lady, it is not good. It is not good." What had happened? Feng and Ning asked. "Biao young master has been beaten up by someone in Zhu is Yang Lu." The maid continued. "He was being beaten by the eldest Shen young master of the general residence." Feng and Ning originally did not care about what the maid had said, but upon hearing the last sentence, she could not help but be surprised. "You are saying, who did the beating?" "The eldest Shen young master of the Shen family, the eldest brother of the 5th Shen young lady." The maid was so worried that her tears almost fell. Gentleman Cao is currently making a fuss in the hall, saying to cancel the marriage. When Feng and Ning arrived at the hall, she saw Feng Furan and Master Feng consoling Gentleman Cao, calling him virtuous nephew. However, it seemed that it was difficult for Gentleman Cao to calm down. Upon seeing Feng and Ning appearing, he immediately rushed over. It was only then that Feng and Ning saw that there were patches of bruises on Gentleman Cao's face. It seemed that he was beaten up rather badly. It was especially so for his 2 black eyes. She could not help but burst out laughing. When Gentleman Cao saw it, he became angrier and pointed at her nose as he scolded. "Since one had already secret relations with that Shen Kaiyu, then why the need to have a marriage with me? Could it be that one want to marry into the Cao family and make me wear a green hat?" "Shut up." Master Feng's face became solemn. This Gentleman Cao's words were truly unpleasant. Although Master Feng wanted to marry Feng and Ning over, she was after all doted by Master Feng from young, so how would he allow her to be insulted so grievously? Feng and Ning put her smile away. "Gentleman Cao, do guard one's tongue." I had thought that with Gentleman Cao's family status, one would definitely not learn from others to sow discord and incite quarrels. It turned out that my thought incorrectly. She mixed with Shen Miao for a long time that she had learned to add 3 points of ridicule in her words. Gentleman Cao was flabbergasted for an instant before he sneered. For what reason do you need to put up a noble and virtuous attitude? If you do not have any relations with him, why would he stand up for you without any reason? Stood up for her? Feng and Ning frowned as Feng Zhixian questioned, Anyuo, explain what is going on. Anyuo was a servant of the Feng residence, and because Gentleman Jiao was staying in the Feng residence and was not familiar with the roads in Ding capital, Feng Zhixian transferred his servant to Gentleman Cao's side for his convenience. An stood out and looked at Gentleman Cao with fear and trepidation before speaking slowly. As it turned out, this Gentleman Cao looked like he was inquiring about Feng and Ning's welfare on the surface and looked like one who scrupulously abide by social etiquette, but privately he was not at all decent. His perspective towards marrying Feng and Ning was only because Feng and Ning's family background and appearance were considered rather well matched. However, even though that Gentleman Cao did not have any concubine in the residence, he was one who had numerous incidents of touching other women. When he was drinking in Zhu Isyanlu, the pack of rogues that he befriended in Ding capital asked him, Young Master Cao, one heard that the young lady of the Cao family has an arrogant personality. Since you like to drink and seek pleasure, would you moderate yourself in the future? What kind of joke is that? Gentleman Cao replied, it is entirely justified for men to have social interaction outside. Moreover, for me to marry her is considered to be generous to her. It is not any female that can enter my Cao family. If one did not see her docile and cute, then it would not be her turn to enter our Cao residence's doors. Docile and cute? Isn't it is said that young lady Feng is domineering, proud and condescending? Gentleman Jiao smiled complacently. That is only piling errors on top of errors. Most likely she knows her background and deliberately pleased me. Never mind. Seeing her so hardworking and obedient, as long as she do not provoke me in the future and be cautious, I will give her more tender affections. When he spoke to the end, it became a joke and was somewhat too much. Gentleman Jiao was speaking happily, but someone strode over suddenly. Before he could react, he was punched by the other so hard that he was flipped onto the ground. That person gave him 3 punches and 2 kicks, making Gentleman Cao cry for his parents. Afterwards, one heard that person saying, the Feng family's foresight for son-in-laws is just poor. Such a weakling actually wants to marry the young lady of the Feng family. Everyone around watching was stunned. Gentleman Jiao has lost his face and had gotten beaten, thus becoming furious. Upon asking about that person's identity, he then knew it was the eldest young master of the general residence. Since he could not offend Shen Kaiyu, he came over to make things difficult for the Feng family. When Master Feng and Feng Furen heard it, their face became livid, but they were not angry at Shen Kaiyu and instead were angry with Gentleman Cao's conduct. One had thought of him as a relative and saw that he was decent. If this incident did not happen today, they did not know that Gentleman Cao had such a face privately. Since one had looked down upon Feng and Ning, then why the need to come over to propose? If Feng and Ning were to enter the great doors of the Cao residence, this would be the same as jumping into the fire pit. How could one expect him to care for Feng and Ning sincerely for a lifetime if he did not even respect his wife? Master Feng became furious. You indeed should be beaten up. Since you look down on the Feng family, the Feng family cannot afford to have such a great personage. Get out. Gentleman Cao was startled and said incredulously, what, did you not hear? Telling you to get out. Feng and Ning said coldly. She no longer concealed the disgust in her eyes. Many years ago, she had personally seen this Cao person playing intimately, disrespectfully, with the maids and thus did not have any illusions about him. If it was not to help the Feng family, she was not willing to make a compromise. Since all pretenses were dropped, there was nothing else to say. In her heart, she felt somewhat fortunate. Gentleman Cao still wanted to speak, but the livid Feng Zhixian had already ordered people to chase him out. When Feng Furen looked at Feng and Ning, Her heart could not help but feel sour. She almost let her daughter fall into a fire pit. It was Feng Anning who turned around and comforted her instead. However, this marriage for Feng Anning was considered ruined, since Feng Anning did not need to deal with that disgusting older Biao brother. Her days passed a little easier. Although the Feng family was still in jeopardy, she no longer was an unnecessary pain and went along with the flow with everything. However, she did not expect that she would encounter Shen Kaiyu on her way out. She was somewhat hesitant and did not know what to say. Upon meeting him, she was suddenly overwhelmed and was no longer as forthright and agile as usual. It was Shen Kaiyu that took the first step towards her. Feng Anning watched as he walked closer. He became taller, braver, powerful and handsome. Compared to those weak gentlemen's, he seemed to have a cast-iron body. In a moment her heart became frenetic and she blurted out, "Why did you beat up Gentleman Cao?" Shen Kaiyu frowned. "What about beating up that kind of person? You shouldn't have beaten him up." Feng Anning shook her head. Now that it is the troubled times, if he were to become resentful because of the matter, it would be hard to avoid when he messed around behind one's back. To shed all pretense of cordiality at such a time. In fact, she did not know what she was saying as she just said anything under the panicked situation. Shen Kaiyu stared at her. "If I don't beat him up, would you marry such a person?" Feng Anning was startled and immediately whispered, "Perhaps so. There is nothing bad about it." "This is nothing bad." There was a trace of anger in Shen Kaiyu's tone of voice as he continued, "You want to marry those kind of bastard that drinks outside and talk about one's fiancé at the back?" Feng Anning raised her head and looked at him. "What does this have to do with Deputy General Shen?" She did have a little expectation. "Before Zhao Zhao left, she had specifically ordered me to look after you. If she knows that you will be married to such a thing, she will definitely be angry." Shen Kaiyu said, "Naturally this is related to me." Feng Anning dimmed. "Many thanks for Deputy General Shen's care, but the present is different from the past. In Ding Capital, any family who dared to marry me at such a critical period is like a phoenix's feather and unicorn's horns. I do not have many choices, but many thanks for your good intentions." Shen Kaiyu came to a halt. After Feng Anning finished, she then bowed a little before turning to leave. She had always been straightforward and proud, like a steady horse that was not familiar with the ways of the world, but now she was wasting away. Without any reason, Shen Kaiyu's heart felt stuck. In a moment, he had made a decision that after a long time later, he would not be able to help but laugh upon thinking of it, as it was a fortunate life decision. He said, "Nonsense. How can there be no more choices? How do you think of me?" Feng Anning's eyes immediately widened. "Do you think of me better than that cow guy?" He repeated again. Military people valued relations and did not go in circles like literary people. They were direct, enthusiastic and very sincere. Two red clouds suddenly appeared on Feng Anning's face. She said, "If I say yes, is this considered an illicit deal?" This time it was Shen Kaiyu that was stunned.